Looks like it's picking up. Excellent. Oh. Sorry, didn't see you there. How's it going? Not what you expected, huh? Let me make sure everything's working here. It's looking good, looking good. Let me get a bite of this. Oh yeah. I gotta be in character, what can I say? Hello, Hyper. How's it going? So, I'm thinking about editing this, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna put background music on. Because I'm not sure how to get the background music out. So hopefully you guys can tolerate just the void of silence. Alright. So I said we were going to start at 1. It's 12:56. So there's a little bit of time left. My sister made it to work safe. Very good news. Alright, well. Welcome to the Persona 4 Golden Great Vegetables tier list. So, Persona 4 Golden is a 2014, I believe, remake of Persona 4 for the PlayStation Vita. A console so great that everyone bought one, right? I mean, I own one, right? I don't. Actually do have the page open if you'd like to learn about it. The protagonist can grow a garden in the yard outside of the Dojima house. The activity is initiated from the garden bucket in the living room. Gardening is introduced at the Dojima residence at the 22nd of May and is available until December 23rd. You'll never guess what you get to do after the 23rd of December. The protagonist will be able to purchase seedlings from the housewife gardening NPC outside who appears outside the Dojima house and at Junes. Planting seedlings or harvesting grown vegetables doesn't count time and can be done in all types of weather. You can harvest your great vegetables in the evening, whether it's raining or not. How convenient. Tending to the garden can be done in the afternoon or the evening. I'm sorry, I think I said you can only do it in the evening. You can do it at the afternoon. My bad. It does not consume time, but vegetables will grow 1 day faster as the result of the protagonist gaining +3 diligence. I didn't know that. That's cool. If tended to during the day, then the yield will increase +1 or +2. I never tended to the garden to get more vegetables, but hey, if you want to, feel free. If Nanako is home during the afternoon or evening, she will help out. Ryotaro Dojima will also help if he's home. Both can gain +5 social link for this. Furthermore, Nanako also has special dialogue that can be read by working in the garden on certain calendar days. And all of that is not very important to what we're doing today. So, as you can see from the list here, there are certain vegetables that you can buy and grow As you can see, some of them are available later than others. I believe yeah, I mean, you can see here, the very first ones you can grow are the tomato and the daikon. A daikon? I'm assuming daikon, right? Con, great stat. And over here we have our tier list. So as you can see, we have our plants here. I have them in the order that they are on here. So I swear to God we won't get lost. But and here are our tiers. If we end up needing to add any more tiers, we can, but there's not that many plants, so we should be fine. Of course, we have our F tier. These are for plants that you should probably never even buy the seedling for. What is the point? Next up, we have C tier. These are plants that are nichely useful, and they'll probably do something helpful. Next up, we have the B tier. B tier plants are nichely useful, a little less niche than C tier. These are plants that probably do something that a standard item you'll get a lot of also does. The A tier plants are plants that... I keep saying plants. The A tier plants are fruits of your garden that will do probably something a lot more niche that you can't just buy at stores, or just something so useful that you'll want to get a bunch of them. And of course, the cream of the crop. Great vegetables. These are the vegetables that you want to focus your attention on. Infinitely helpful in your journey through the TV world. Alright, is there anything else I need to talk about before we rank plants? I think that's about it, right? This is the test run for the Adachi cosplay. I don't know what people think about it. I've got props, I've got... Oh, there's water in this. You know why people join the force, right? So you can legally carry a gun. Got my my cabbage soup here. Delicious. It's cabbage in some water. And I've got a different prop that we might talk about later. If it comes up. So, alright, so let's talk about the Tiny Soul Tomato. Oh yeah, so there's the Megami Tensei wiki, which is what I'm using right now, since Hisoa mentioned it. There's this wiki, and then there's also the fandom wiki. I cannot stand the fandom wiki. I'm using this one, so... Alright, so the first plant that you'll probably end up running into is the Tiny Soul Tomato. Here's what it looks like as a crop. In your inventory, I don't think there's a picture of it, but hey, you can hold 99 of them. So this is a very basic item. It restores 28... yeah. This is a very basic item. It restores 20 SP. Now this might sound really niche and stupid, but it's the first plant you get, and SP is really tight early, so you probably will use this. Buy price of 800 yen isn't awful. It's a little rough early, but there's way more expensive things. It's not that bad. And a sell price of 20 yen is pretty pathetic. I probably would just hold on to these for the random occasions where you need some more SP. As far as use throughout the entire game, this is very much a early game staple. Probably by about the time you hit like mid to late game, you're gonna have plenty of SP recovery items that you just pick up, and you're also going to gain access to more abilities from your different party members, especially from, forgot her name, Rise, especially from Rise, who has a lot of just natural recovery abilities. Overall, our little tomato friend, I think it's probably going to be like a B. Feel free to yell at me if you disagree, but I think B tier is probably the right spot for the tiny soul tomato. Now, I believe there is an item that translates directly to what the soul tomato does. I think it might be the soul drop. Let me double check. I don't want to lie to you. I lied. So the soul drop is half a tiny soul tomato. What a value. All right. Do I have anything else to say about the tomato? I think that's about it. Tiny soul tomato, very useful early. Next up we have... I gotta go back. So next up on the docket, we have the Return Daikon. I'm assuming it's a Daikon. I don't think I've ever seen one of these in real life. The Return Daikon is a consumable produce made through gardening. It has the same effect as a Go Home. So what the Go Ho M does is you pick one up in the dungeon. I think you might be able to buy one too. And when you use it, it will send you to the start of the dungeon, like the entryway, not the first floor. So it's essentially like using an escape rope in Pokemon, if you know what that is. You click the item, it gets consumed, and you get sent to the start. Very useful for if you're just kind of doing like level grinding, item grinding, if you need to go heal, if you're just done playing for the day and you want to go back to save your progress or whatever. There's a lot of niche situations where the Return Daikon might come in handy. The issue is Go Ho M is not a rare item at all. Go Ho M is one of the most common items you'll see in the dungeon crawling chests. Maybe not the most common, but it's it's not really going to be the most useful thing you pick up. It's got it's got a buy price of 900. Kind of steep, but I mean it is a good effect, and it sells for less than a tiny soul tomato. Yeah, I think that's really all I can say about the Daikon. It lets you leave the dungeon. That's a good effect. How good is it? Hmm. Tentatively, I'm going to give it a C tier. I know that's kind of rough for the Daikon, but like I said, Go Ho M, very common. I don't know if you can really justify putting this any higher. Maybe B tier, but unlike the Tiny Soul Tomato, where you really need SP early on, the effect of the Daikon, I would say you can supplement a lot easier with just Go Ho M's or just brute forcing the dungeon and getting it over with. All right. Now that we've moved to the month of June, we have new vegetables available to buy. And first up is one of my more favorite vegetables to grow, the crack wheat. Now, I know this name sounds a little sus, but don't worry. It's cracking chests open. The crack wheat has the same effect as the chest key. Now, what are chest keys? Chest keys are the most annoying item to grind for in the entirety of Golden. Let me explain. So, Golden has shuffle time, just like Persona 3, Persona 4, Persona 3 Fez, Persona 3 Portable, etc., etc., etc. And the only way to get chest keys is from shuffle time. I think you can also buy them. Well, I mean, it's not going to tell me here. Can you buy chest keys? I don't want to lie to you. You can buy chest keys from Tanaka's Amazing Commodities, and you know Tanaka's not going to rip you off. What a nice guy. There's also apparently a couple quests that will give you chest keys. Who's the Riddle Master? Acquire an angel statue, and acquire a charmed veil. And nothing drops chest keys. So, you can pretty reliably get chest keys from Shuffle Time. However, chest keys are a little more work than just kind of having some plants growing. Like, you can stock up really easily on crack wheat. I remember when I went to the Heaven dungeon in my latest playthrough of Golden, I had like 11 crack wheat, and I don't think I needed a single chest key. It was very useful. Now, the crack wheat will only be as useful as the dungeon chests are. So if you're doing some sort of challenge where maybe you're not using items, or maybe you're doing a challenge where you can only use the items from dungeons, then the usefulness of the crack wheat will vary. But similar to the Daikon, crack wheat is essentially just a variant of an existing item. But hey, this one is a variant of a less common item. I might move it to Great Vegetables, we'll see. I think an A tier is pretty solid here. Stocking up on crack wheat just means that you don't have to think as hard about random enemy encounters, because if you're pretty well stocked up on personas, you don't really have a reason to fight. Well, I mean, I guess if you want XP. If you're pretty well stocked up on personas and your levels are starting to get a little too high, you really don't have a reason to fight enemy shadows except to get chest keys. So hey, if you already have crack wheat, like, you're good. You're good. Alright, baby. You already know. The best plant in the entirety of Junes. Delicious cabbage. Ah, yes. Oh, oh, yeah. There's nothing wrong with cabbage. The perfect vegetable. You can just think of all the options you have with cabbage. You can boil it. I really wish I had someone to cook for me. Anyways, let's talk about cabbages. I need to finish chewing. The people want a new tier just for cabbages. Alright, so you already know me, Adachi, loves the cabbage. And why not? Why would I not love the cabbage? Just, take a look at those effects right there. It heals all status ailments, except down and KO. What's not to love? Tell me now, what's not to love? Alright, so the cabbages are definitely pretty useful. However, how often do you need to heal statuses? Let's be honest. If you're on higher difficulties, or if you're facing bosses, then you're pretty worried about status ailments. However, by the time you get to the boss fights who spam, like, Fear plus Ghastly Wail, you probably have, like, Yukiko and Teddy with status curing moves. So, what do you need the cabbage for? And you probably also have picked up a ton of just random status curing items as well. I'm not saying the Hiranya cabbage is bad. Anything but. Curing ailments is very useful. And if you do have a stock of cabbages ready, then hey, you can use them to cure statuses. If you're doing some sort of niche challenge where maybe you can't use healing moves, then hey. Or maybe you're doing a solo run and you don't have any personas who can steal status. Maybe you're doing a solo run and you don't have any personas who can heal status. The cabbage can heal status. You can buy cabbages from Tanaka's Amazing Commodities on August 22nd. What a deal! Of course, it has a buy price of 1,600 yen and a sell price of 90. That's pretty steep for the effect, but you'll probably have the money for it. Now, the people said they wanted the cabbage to have its own tier. However, I think after we talked about everything, it's like probably like B tier. It has less of a niche than the Soul Tomato. I don't see any rioting. I think I'm okay. As much as we love the cabbage, you gotta understand that healing status is really easy to do and also really niche. It's really only boss fights where healing status matters. If you're on higher difficulties, like maybe like very hard, then maybe statuses are really screwing you over, but like I don't know, just hit them. I think you'll be fine. All right. So you might notice that there aren't that many plants on this tier list, but there are a pretty good amount of gardenable vegetables that you can pick up. Well, it's because a lot of the produce you can grow comes in bunches. Our first bunch you'll see here are the wall paprika, which comes in 4 delicious varieties. And we'll talk about all 4 of them, but we're going to rank them all as one item, just because no matter what, you get one of each of these when you grow it, so Unlike the crack wheat and the Huronia cabbage, you get these on June 24th, so a little later. June 5th for these, May 22nd for these. So, hey, new vegetables, new date. Alright, so first up of the Paprika Brothers, the red paprika. The red paprika has the same effects as Firewall, increasing fire resistance. I should have had this loaded already. I'm sorry. I can't believe I didn't have this ready to go. I have no idea where it went.
Foul sorceries.
First up is the red paprika, which grants the same effects as Firewall, increasing fire resistance.
Foul sorceries.
Now, fire is a pretty common offensive type, I would say. There's plenty of shadows being sponsored by AG1 and different other fire moves like Miraji, the spread fire, and so on and so on. You probably get Firewall from just like your party members. I'm pretty sure Yukiko has Firewall. And then just you himself can get personas with Firewall. But hey, if you don't have a Firewall user and you're getting destroyed by fire moves, Firewall and an item. Hey! All of the paprikas cost 2,000 and sell for 56. I think. I'm pretty sure. Oh, what a ripoff! Tanaka's not selling you the paprika. Next up of the Paprika Brothers, the white paprika. It has the same effects as White Wall, increasing ice resistance.
Foul sorceries.
Ice moves, I feel like there's definitely enemy shadows that use ice. I'm not 100% sure if bosses use ice, but there are situations where there is a boss who uses ice moves. Shadow Teddy just came to me. When is I'm not 100% sure if you get the paprika before you fight Shadow Teddy, but hey, if you do, you can stock up on the white paprika for Shadow Teddy. And I'm sure there's other bosses who also use ice, but Shadow Teddy's one of the harder boss fights in the game, so hey, if you have a problem with his ice moves, ice resist. Just make sure to guard when he uses the big claw. I can't think of what it's called right now. It's one of his attacks in Persona 4 Arena. Really fun fighting game. Nihil Hand, thank you. Just make sure to guard on the Nihil Hand. Alright, the next up for the Paprika Brothers, the blue paprika. It grants the same effect as Elec Wall, increasing electric resistance.
Foul sorceries.
It has the same buy and sell price as other things. Kind of the same as the other items. I'm sure there's bosses that use electric moves, but this will mostly be helpful if you're up against, like, a stronger shadow that's kicking your butt. And maybe you just really need electric wall. And the last of the Super Paprika brothers is the Green Paprika. Has the same effect as Green Wall, increasing wind resistance.
Foul sorceries.
Now, as we all know, in the famous lyrics of everyone's favorite protagonist's theme song, FMC, Pull the Trigger, you're the fire, I'm the wind tonight. So we know wind is a good attacking type. It destroys all the others. So obviously you need Green Wall, right? I mean, what are you going to do against wind moves? Yosuke uses wind moves, and we know Yosuke is powerful, right? Overall, for the Paprikas, are you actually going to use these? So, weaknesses and... How do I want to word this? So, weaknesses are very strange in Persona game. Weaknesses are very strange in Persona games, especially for Persona 4 Golden. The protagonist, you, literally you, but also you, can pretty easily fuse a persona that only has maybe like one weakness, two maybe, or just no weaknesses. I remember by the end of the game, I had a Yoshitsune, really good persona, that literally had no weaknesses, and he just destroyed the game. Sort of. Enemies are really spongy by the end of the game, so... But, weaknesses can be pretty easily built around, so you're really only worried about party member weaknesses. And what's an easy way to get around party member weaknesses? Just click guard. Like, if you're really afraid of losing a party member, click guard. What are you doing? I'm not gonna say there aren't situations where the walls are useless. A famous situation in this game where walls are very powerful is in the first, like, real boss fight of the game against Shadow Yukiko, where the boss keeps putting ice wall on herself over and over to negate her only weakness. So how do you beat her? Just like the rest of the game, just spam physical. Hiso is saying C. I think I agree. I would say having these effects in an item form is very useful. I'm not sure if there's a normal buyable item that translates to the wall moves. But hey, there are plants for it. And the moves themselves, I'm not going to say they're super rare, but if you really want the wall moves, then you can, like, fuse around for it and get them on the protagonist if you really, really need Wind Wall. Is it called Wind Wall? It's called Green Wall, isn't it? Green Wall. I'm sorry. Alright. Now, this is a JRPG, and everybody knows that one of the coolest things in JRPGs is to dual wield! So obviously, they were cooking with the barrier corn. You don't just get one corn. You get two! Two for the price of one, baby. You get Tetracorn, and you get Makara corn. Now you're probably wondering, the heck is a Tetracorn? Let's find out. So Tetracorn grants the same effect as Tetrakarn. And what does Tetrakarn do? It reflects physical attacks. Hey, that sounds pretty good. Has a buy price of 23,000 and a sell price of 120. And of course, you can buy them on January 20th from Tanaka's Amazing Commodities. And Makara Corn is the reverse. It has the same effect as Makara Karn, reflecting magical attacks. It has a buy price of 23,000 and a sell price of 120. And of course, you can buy them from Tanaka's Amazing Commodities on January 10th. So, Tetrakarn and Makarakarn are actual moves that you might consider using. There are a good handful of strong physical and special attacks that you will run into. And hey, if you know you're going to run into them, then just set up a Tetrakarn and reflect back the God's Hand. Set up a Makarakarn, reflect back the Megidolion. There's a lot of situations where, hey, pretty good item. It's hilarious he runs the dark web in P5. Yeah, they found out he was up to no good. This is another plant that you get on June 24th. And you might actually consider using the barrier corn a good amount, just because these are pretty powerful effects. If there's absolutely nothing that a party member can do, then hey, just have them reflect an attack. This, much like the crackweed, I would say, is in the running for great vegetable. But for now, I'm going to put it behind the crackweed. I think this has a very good effect. The only problem with it is, once again, it's sort of a niche case. Like, I don't know when you're really going, oh man, I really wish I had Tetrakarn right now. Like, no, you're probably setting up power charge plus, like, shoot, what's the best physical move? I guess I could just say God's Hand, right? You're probably setting up Power Charge plus God's Hand, right? What are you doing setting up a Tetrakarn? But hey, you might be, if you have nothing better to do. Now, if you're at all familiar with the plot of Persona 4, then you know I'm pretty good at setting up scapegoats. But I don't think I've ever ate a eggplant before. This is the scapegoat eggplant. It has the same effect as a homunculus. And you're probably wondering, what does a homunculus do? The homunculus is a consumable item in Persona. It will be automatically consumed when the protagonist or party member would have been killed by instant death, such as Hama or Mudo. And as you can see, this is an item that appears in all of the modern Persona games. And it is one of the more useful items in the series. There are a lot of boss fights that will try to spam instant death attacks, and if you have a homunculus set up, they can't do anything. The scapegoat eggplant has a buy price of 3,500 yen and a sell price of 300. And of course, you can buy them on Halloween from Tanaka's Amazing Commodities. I'd say the scapegoat eggplant, while it sounds really niche, for it being a late game item, and the late game being where you'll run into a lot of these instant death strategies, it's definitely one of your more useful vegetables, to the point where I think this might actually get to be a great vegetable. I might bump it down, but like, there's a lot of instant death at the end. Me, Adachi, loves to use the combo of, I literally just said it earlier. Terror Voice plus Ghastly Wail, I'm pretty sure that's it. Where he inflicts fear on you, and then he one-shots you with Ghastly Wail. He can't do anything when you've got the Scapegoat Eggplant equipped. And last, but certainly not least, is the almighty Bead Melon. The Bead Melon restores all HP and SP. This is essentially just a better version of the bead. So what a bead does is it restores your HP. This restores your HP and your SP, and all you have to do is farm for it. Sounds pretty useful. It has a buy price of 9,800 yen and a sell price, baby, of of 10,000 yen. I think we like farming sims, baby. And of course, if you really need to get your hands on some succulent melons, Tanaka's got you covered on October 31st. Overall, while you do get this pretty late, I do think that this does have a powerful effect. A lot like the Tiny Soul Tomato, there is a big flaw with the melon, and that is that Rise exists. Rise has some of the most broken abilities in the entire series. Two of those being that she can restore HP and she can restore SP. So you're, especially by the later dungeons when you will have access to melons, you don't really need the effects of the melons. I would probably say they're above the Tiny Soul Tomato. I think they're just kind of a direct upgrade. Getting instant recovery to everything is very powerful, but there's a lot of other ways by the time you get the melon to recover SP and HP. Your healer of choice probably will have access to like salvation by now, and as far as SP goes, like Rise just has you covered. And of course, who could forget that if you have a massive HP problem in the amazing Hollowed Forest dungeon exclusive to the golden version of the game, you can break out the melons and rejoice that you finally can restore all of your SP after it gets quartered every time. Oh, what do you mean Marie takes all your items? All right, so one last thing before we call it good on this tier list. We should probably play with the tiers. Nothing's hit F yet, so I think we'll need to re-debate some of these. Now that we've looked over the effects of all of these plants, I think we can pretty firmly say that the Daikon Con is really good in Fire Emblem, but in Persona, oh, you get so many Goho M's just by naturally farming dungeons that I don't think it's worth growing this. There's like no reason for you to get Daikons. Sorry, I was checking my phone. All right. As far as the rest of the items, Teddy gets Traisto too. That's true. I should probably mention that. So, as well as being able to stock up on Goho M's really easily, Teddy also naturally gets a move called Traisto, which just warps you to the start of the dungeon. It does the exact same thing. So, if you decide to use Teddy on your team, then this item's completely worthless. I think I'm going to go ahead and demote the Tiny Soul Tomato as well. The cabbage overall has a better niche. I would say the Soul Tomato is really good early game. Like, of the plants you get to start out with, definitely grow tiny Soul Tomatoes. But, like, after a little while, restoring 20 SP, like, I don't know, Rise's got you covered, bro. I don't think you need to bite into those tomatoes. All right, any other complaints with the tier list? I think this is probably good. All right, well, I guess I'll kind of go into an ending spiel here. Spiel, what a cute Pokemon. Cracked my neck. All right, well, thank you very much for joining us today to look at these great vegetables. If you enjoyed looking over these vegetables, make sure to smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment. I really don't get that many comments, so I swear I'll answer you. And feel free to join Wizcord, linked in the channel description. Why is it not in the video description? Ask YouTube. As far as everyone watching the live recording here, thank you very much for being here. I know this was kind of dry and boring, but this is going to get edited into an actual video. So if there's any critiques on kind of how this went, please let me know. We'll probably do this for future tier lists, so. And if anybody knows how to put on background music that won't show up in the recording, let me know about that too, because that would be pretty nice for you guys, just so you're not listening to the dull whir of my computer. If you have any ideas for future kind of goofy, stupid Persona tier lists, let me know. I'm completely down to do them. Alright, do I have anything else to mention as far as vegetables go? dance tier list? What, like ranking all of the Persona dances? I'm not really a professional dancer. I don't know if I can rank those. I mean, I could watch them, but I don't know. That could be a fun vid. I'll keep it. I'll keep it on the maybe list, Ash. But all right, for everyone who's here, it's like not even 2 o'clock yet. So I think, as a special treat, I'm going to go ahead and end the live here. And if anyone's interested in going ahead and hitting up Turnabout Big Top, I'll probably go ahead and start that in like 15 minutes, give or take. So yeah, I gotta get out of this ridiculous outfit. I mean, yeah. Da-na-na, 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 da-na-na. Oh, all right. Thank you, everyone, for sitting here in the awkward silence with your boy Adachi. If people like the Adachi costume, I'm more than happy to bring it back for future stuff. It's not that hard to wear. I'll let you in on a secret, guys. Let me show you. Let me show you. Oh God. Ha! I'm wearing normal clothes underneath. So, wear it when you play Persona 4 Revival. I think that's unironically the plan, but... So I thought about doing a Dojima costume and kind of have like, isn't it hot? Surprisingly, no. So I thought about doing a Dojima costume for this one and kind of like do this number. But the problem is I don't own a tan shirt. I thought I did, but unfortunately I couldn't do my Dojima cosplay. I just had to settle with Adachi. And now I'm doing a SpongeBob cosplay. Alright, there's no way I'm getting the suit jacket back on while I'm sitting down, so I guess I'm just blinged out in white now. Yeah, I expected to be burning up during this, but no, I'm chilling, so. Alright, well, I'm not going to set a exact date on the when this tier list will come out, but expect it to be possibly by the end of the month. We'll see. But thank you all for being here. And yeah, I'll go ahead and set up stuff for Ace Attorney. Ah, screw it. Let's watch Adachi dance again. Great vegetable. great vegetables.